Hey everyone, Boardgame Brody here with Meeple Mountain. I have a prototype copy of Circus, a new family game from Amuza Games. Come one, come all, the greatest circus is in town. Here we have jugglers, strongmen, contortionists, clowns, magicians, and even mimes. So what are you waiting for? Come on in through the big top and spend your evening here where you won't forget what you see. In Circus, players will be managing their own circus caravan, upgrading them by adding more cubes to them, and then placing them in the arena when the time is right to score the most points, and sending energy and applause into the audience. The game is set up like this. Each of these cards represent a round in the game, and players will gain bonus points for having certain entertainers in their own personal circus caravan with cubes on them that matches the type shown on the card representing that round. In the first 2 rounds, there will be no points awarded in this manner. The next 4 rounds, you can plan to have the type shown on those cards, and the grand finale is the last round in the game, ending the greatest showman or woman. When setting up the game, there are additional cards matching each type of entertainer, but randomly 4 are used in the basic game. If playing the advanced game, you'll be using all of these cards, adding them in the line of poster cards, and playing 10 rounds total instead. After each round is finished, the poster card will then be flipped over face down, so all poster cards in the game are started face up to help with planning and strategy. The game board shows 3 tracks that players will try to move their discs up on. Players will be able to develop their circus and do more on their turn when moving their discs up on these tracks. This track states how many performer cards your circus caravan can hold. As you can see, you start with 2 performer cards to start the game, and as you move up on this track, you can hold more performers to further develop them, or have an increased variety of certain types of performers to add to the arena when the time is right. This track here lets you draw additional upgrade cards to your hand. More of these cards will give you additional ways to add cubes onto your performers, and many of the cards require a payment of discarding some number of those cards to pay for that upgrade. So the more cards you draw, the better chances you get to plan something amazing. You start the game with drawing 1 card plus the number of performers left in the arena line. This last track here will tell you the amount of cubes that you have left on your caravan at the end of the game that will transfer into points. So if you never upgrade this, then you will score 1 point for every 3 cubes left in your caravan. But you could be scoring 1 point for each cube if you progress this disc to the top. And I will explain how you move these discs up on these tracks later when explaining the gameplay. So the arena starts with 3 random performers at the beginning of the game, and players start with 2 performers in their caravan and 4 upgrade cards. The game is played over 7 rounds, or 10 in an advanced game. Each round consists of 3 steps. The box office, where you score bonus points for the performer on the poster. Rehearsal, where you upgrade your performers and or develop your circus. And lastly, it's showtime, where you send a performer into the arena to perform and score additional points. Let's talk about these steps in more detail. So the first player will do the 3 steps, and then the next player will go and do the 3 steps, and when all players have done all 3 steps, then you will flip over the poster and repeat again until all 7 rounds are completed. For the step 1, the box office, you score 1 point per upgrade cube on top of the performers in your caravan with the specialty depicted on the poster card. The specialties are listed on the top right of each performer card. Here I will score 5 points because the poster for this round is the juggler, and I have 2 jugglers, one with 3 cubes and another with 2, scoring me 5 points total. Step 2, rehearsal. Here you will upgrade your performers by using certain upgrade cards to add cubes following whatever instructions are shown on that card. Or you can develop your circus by discarding any 2 upgrade cards and moving one of your discs up 1 spot on any of the 3 tracks of your choice. I already went over these tracks, so you have an idea what developing your circus does, but let's go over some of these upgrade cards. So first, an important rule to note is that each performer can only have one of each colored cube placed on it. So adding multiple of the same color cubes will not do anything. Each card will list its payment on the bottom right, so it will list a number of upgrade cards that you will need to discard to use that upgrade card, while others might have like a little formula to determine how many cards that you will need to discard to play it. For example, this card. Now, this card is placed in front of you for the remaining of the game, and whenever a new performer is added to your caravan and it's a male, then you will add a blue cube to it. This is similar, but it's for females. This is the impression card. So if I played this, I would also discard another upgrade card to pay for it. And now I will look at the rightmost performer in the arena. If it matches the gender on the card, for this one specifically it's indicated as a female, and yes it does, then I can add a red cube to any one of my performers in my caravan. This is the costume card. I would need to discard 3 other cards to play this, and then I can add a purple cube to the performers with a different specialty listed on it. If there are more than one performer with the same specialty, then I'd only be able to add a cube to one of them. Some of the cards make it easy to add some colored cubes, while other colors are hard to add. Because in the third step, it's showtime, and you will decide on one of your performers to add to the arena along with its cubes. When adding this performer, it will always add to the right side of the line. Now, to score high points for your performance, you will need to bring something new to the audience that they didn't just see. So for every cube your recently added performer has in common with the previous, you will score 1 point. And for every cube that the previous one didn't have, that you do have, you will score 2 points per cube. So the more cubes that you have of different colors than the previously placed performer, the more points you will score. All of the cubes from the previous performer will then be removed, making sure you keep the cubes on your performer so that when the next player goes, they can compare it with them. Next, you will remove performers from the arena if necessary. If there is a performer with the same specialty in the line, then you will remove the performer and all the performers to the left and place them in the discard pile. For example, here we have 2 strongmen. So the oldest one, or the one toward the left, will be discarded along with this other performer that's placed to its left. Now you will determine how many upgrade cards you get to draw. And you get to draw 1 card per performer left in the arena, plus the number of additional cards indicated by your position on the development track. So you really want to try to keep the arena as long as possible so you can gain more cards and do more actions for the next round. Lastly, you will draw the top performer card and add it to your own caravan. Again, you will play 7 rounds of this. Again, gaining bonus points for having certain performers in your caravan, playing upgrade cards to add cubes to your performers, or upgrading your circus, and lastly, performing and gaining points for cubes on the performing performer, and then taking more upgrade cards by the number of cards left in the arena, plus the number of cards listed on the development track where your disc is at. After all players have executed their actions, the poster card for this round is turned face down and a new round begins. The last round is the grand finale, and players will perform their actions as usual. When everyone has completed their turn, all the remaining performers will perform in the grand finale, but only the performers that stand out from the other performers in their own specialty will be noticed and gain points. For each specialty, the player whose circus caravan includes the performer with the most upgrade cubes will score 3 points. The game will then end with players counting up how many upgrade cubes are left on their performers and scoring points according to the bonus point development track. The player with the most points is the best circus director and wins the game. The game also includes an advanced rule set that adds a couple new actions and plays to 10 rounds. However you want to play the game, you'll be trying to take advantage over the other players one way or another. This might be increasing your caravan to hold more performers, Doing this will give you more choices of who to add to the arena when the time is right. Maybe you just want more upgrade cards. The more cards that you gain, the more chances to add more cubes to your performers, scoring you more points. And of course, the way that you use your upgrade cards will also determine who is willing to go the distance to direct this circus how it should be done. The game leans heavy on card management, as you need to carefully choose which cards to use and which ones to use to pay for actions that you want to take. You are also managing your performers as well. Do you place out a performer with barely any cubes so you can just keep on going and building up on a very strong performer? Or do you play out the best that you have without keeping in mind which other performers are in the arena already? Each cube is also assigned to a certain type of upgrade, and to upgrade your performers, you will follow the same type of cards every time if you want to try to place the same color on them. With inspiration, impression, practice, talent, and a good costume, you will surely impress the crowd and gain mega points. Of course, unless the previous performer already impressed them to the max. I like how you will gain a point for the cube when it matches the previous performer, but if you do something new, it scores you twice as much. This just makes your choices interesting. Choices of which cubes to place on your performers, and also which performer to place in the arena to perform. It also seems that precision in these small details make a huge difference. So make sure you track the best performers to be part of your circus caravan in Circus by Amuza Games. Again, this is Boardgame Brody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stick around and check out some other board game reviews to see what you might want to get to the table.